Imagine a single decision that could redefine America's future. One choice with the power to shape the nation's destiny for generations to come. That's what's at stake with former President Trump's bold proposal, a staggering $1.5 trillion defense budget for 2027, a figure that has sparked intense debate across the country. This isn't just a minor bump in spending, it's the largest military budget ever proposed in U.S. history, dwarfing previous records and setting a new precedent. The number is almost unimaginable, larger than the entire economies of many countries around the world, and it raises fundamental questions about national priorities. Supporters argue it's a necessary response to rising global threats, pointing to years of what they see as underfunding and the need to modernize America's defenses. They believe a stronger, better-equipped military not only deters wars before they start, but also reassures allies and strengthens America's position on the world stage. Critics, however, warn that this is a dangerous escalation, risking vital domestic programs and sending a message of aggression rather than diplomacy to the world. This debate is about more than just hardware or numbers. It's about America's identity, its values, and the direction the nation chooses to take. The proposal would have far-reaching impacts, touching everything from the national debt and international alliances to innovation, education, and the social safety nets millions rely on. It's a high-stakes gamble on American power with consequences that could ripple across the globe and into every American household. Are our greatest threats truly external, demanding ever more military might, or are they internal, like growing inequality, failing infrastructure, and the struggles faced by everyday Americans? The debate over this budget is a moment of national reflection, a chance for Americans to weigh their hopes, fears, and aspirations for the future. It forces us to ask, what kind of future do we want to build for our children, and what legacy will we leave behind? The answer to this trillion-dollar question will shape America for decades, influencing everything from education and opportunity to security and prosperity. This is more than a policy fight, it's a generational choice, one that will define what it means to be American in the 21st century. The consequences will echo for years, affecting every American family, every community, and every dream for a better tomorrow. The trillion-dollar question remains. What price are we truly willing to pay for security? And what are we willing to sacrifice along the way? Where does all that money go? When you hear about a $1.5 trillion defense budget, it's hard to imagine what that actually buys. Let's break it down. Trump's plan would supercharge the U.S. military, aiming to make it the most powerful and advanced force in the world. The Navy would expand to over 350 ships, adding new aircraft carriers, advanced submarines, and a range of support vessels to counter China's rapidly growing fleet and assert dominance in global waters. The Air Force would receive next-generation fighter jets, stealth bombers, and upgraded satellite networks for space defense, ensuring American air superiority and secure communications. But it's not just about hardware and machines. The plan also boosts pay, improves housing, and expands healthcare for service members and their families, aiming to attract and retain top talent in a competitive job market. Billions would be funneled into research and development, funding breakthroughs in artificial intelligence, hypersonic missiles, cyber warfare, and robotics. The race for the next superweapon is on. The ultimate goal: keep America ahead in military technology, so no rival can catch up. Readiness and modernization are key, replacing aging tanks, helicopters, and ramping up ammunition production to ensure the military is always prepared for any conflict. The idea is a force that's not just advanced, but fully supplied, well-trained, and ready to deploy anywhere in the world at a moment's notice. Supporters say it's about maintaining dominance on land, sea, air, and even in space, projecting American power everywhere. Critics, however, see runaway spending on weapons and technology, arguing that it comes at the expense of people and other national priorities. This massive budget would touch every corner of the military, from frontline troops to support staff, and from research labs to overseas bases. It's a blueprint for overwhelming force, or as some say, a recipe for excess and potential waste. The debate continues. Why now? Supporters point to a world that's more dangerous than ever. China's military is expanding fast. Its navy is now the world's largest. Investments in cyber and space challenge U.S. dominance. The war in Ukraine exposed how quickly modern wars burn through resources. America's stockpiles are depleted after aiding Ukraine, seen as a critical weakness. The plan is a direct response: rebuild, rearm, and deter. Beyond China and Russia, threats simmer in the Middle East and North Korea. Advanced weapons, are spreading to rogue states and non-state actors. Supporters argue a strong U.S. military stabilizes a chaotic world, the philosophy peace through overwhelming strength. Critics warn this could provoke rivals and fuel an arms race. The budget is a bet. Deterrence through dominance or escalation by example. How do we pay for $1.5 trillion? The U.S. already faces a $35 trillion national debt. More defense spending means more borrowing, or deep cuts elsewhere. That could mean less for education, infrastructure, and social safety nets. Supporters call defense spending and investment jobs, innovation, and economic stimulus. Pentagon-funded research has led to breakthroughs like the internet and GPS. Critics argue other sectors like clean energy or education create more jobs per dollar. They see opportunity costs. What could $1.5 trillion do for healthcare or student debt? The debate is about priorities. Military might versus domestic renewal. Every dollar spent on defense is a dollar not spent at home. The choice is stark, and the trade-offs are real. The proposal splits the nation, igniting passionate debate in communities, on social media, and in the halls of power. Supporters led by Trump insist it's about survival in a dangerous and unpredictable world where threats can emerge at any moment. They argue that only a powerful, well-funded military can deter adversaries, reassure allies, and keep America safe from harm. America's leadership on the world stage, they say, depends on maintaining military preeminence and showing unwavering strength. Critics, however, call the plan reckless and provocative, warning it could trigger a dangerous global arms race and escalate tensions. They argue that true security comes from investing in a strong economy, quality education, and a healthy society, not just more weapons. Diplomacy and international cooperation, not just military force, are key to solving global problems and building lasting peace. Critics fear the massive budget would sideline diplomacy, strain public resources, and deepen the already growing national debt. They advocate for auditing the Pentagon, cutting wasteful spending, and reinvesting those funds in American communities and infrastructure. Supporters see the plan as absolutely essential for national defense. Critics see it as a dangerous and costly diversion from real priorities. The debate is fierce and emotional, with both sides claiming to defend America's future and core values. The stakes are high. National security, economic health, and America's global role all hang in the balance as the nation decides its path forward. America stands at a crossroads. Approving the $1.5 trillion plan could cement U.S. military dominance and deter rivals. It might strengthen alliances and secure American interests for decades, but the cost could cripple the economy, spark an arms race, and erode public services. The nation risks becoming powerful abroad but weakened at home. The real question: what kind of strength matters most, military might or domestic well-being? This decision will define America's legacy for generations. Will historians see it as a wise investment or a costly mistake? The stakes are enormous, and the consequences will last long after the checks are written. What is the true price of security, and is it one America is willing to pay?